Okay, so here we have War of 1812, Solitaire Pocket Travel Game by Worthington Publishing. And I did a playthrough of this and with instructions. I'm going to put the link to that video below if you didn't see that. So I'm not going to go over rules here other than, I'm going to do another playthrough because I lost that one. So I'm going to try to do better on this one. But of course, I'll go over a couple of the rules. You have a sequence of play. You have the Americans here right here in the Northwest Front, the Niagara Front, the St. Lawrence Front, the Northeast Front. And then you have the British in these little cities right outside here trying to push in. Um, oh, St. Lawrence Front. I forgot that one. It goes right there. The British have control of Lake Champlain, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. So that's how the game starts. You put it on turn one. The game is played by you getting resource points and then using them. So let's go ahead and play and see what happens. Let's start. How many resource points I'm going to get? One, one RP. Now, again, I've said this in the other video. It's important to take over the control of the lakes here. So I'm going to start with Lake Champlain. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. I rolled a 5. Ship battle. That's attacker wins. Change control. So we won that one. We only had one resource point, so that's all we could do. Now let's see what the British are going to do. A 1, and of course it's the first turn, so it's an odd turn. It says defend Lower Canada, attack the American front marker on the Northeast and St. Lawrence fronts. So I gotta attack on the. We're gonna be attacked here on the St. Lawrence front and the Northeast front. All right. It's important to remember that if after turn 4, okay, if the British have control of 2 of our cities, we lose the game instantly. Okay, so let's see what happens here. The battle here, north there, so they pushed us out. And what happens when they push us out, we just move it adjacent here to the city because we can always push them back in. So they succeeded there. Let's see St. Lawrence and a 3 that also is an advanced result. Now these areas here, as it points out here, these are enforced areas. So we have a minus DRM, like if we're fighting, like right here in the northeast area here, northwest, um, the British are in a fortified area, and then Niagara front, they're also in a fortified area. So when we attack, it's a -1. Let me just double check something here, but I think if they have control by turn 4, we lose. Yeah, after turn 4, if they have control of 2 cities. So we haven't lost yet. Okay, that was turn 1. Turn 2. Golly, let's see how many. Oh boy, again, one marker. I'm gonna try to take control here in the Northeast. Let's see what happens. I rolled a 1, so I failed. Let's see what the British do. A 5, and it's an even turn. 5 even. The British Navy attack American ships on American-controlled lakes. We only have control of Lake Champlain, so we're being attacked here. Let's see what happens. And that's a fail, thankfully. So turn 3. All right, let's see how many resource points. So far, we haven't had many. Okay, we got 2 resource points. I'm going to push here in the northeast. These are not fortified areas, right? The city, so we're even Steven here. I'm going to push here. Well, I got 2 resource points. I'm going to try here. 1, I failed. Let's try in the St. Lawrence front. Okay, we succeeded there, so we took it back. This is important because after turn 4, we're toast. We lose the game. Let's see what the British are going to do now. It's an odd turn at 5. Here we go. If the British control Lake Ontario, retreat the American St. Lawrence front marker 1 town. Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Ontario. Nope. Lake Ontario is under British control. So nothing happens. All right. Let's go to turn 4. See how many resource points we get. We get 1 resource point. This is terrible. I'm going to go ahead and fight in the northeast. And we succeeded. That's good. But we only had 1, so that's all we can do. Let's see what the British are going to do now. A 1, it's an even turn. So it says attack the American front marker on the northwest and Niagara fronts. So we're going to be attacked here and here. Let's start with the northwest front. A 4, that's a success. So we got pushed out. I mean, it's right here. Wow. And the Niagara front, let's see what happens. Wow, we got pushed out of there too. Boy, this is turning out worse than the previous video. Turn 5. We have to fight. Let's see how many resource points. Oh, come on, this is a joke. These, by the way, are regulars, right, that I can bring in to re-roll a die, whether attacking or defending, so those are helpful. I have 1 resource point. 1 resource point is not much. I'm going to try to push back at the Niagara front, and I failed. This is disastrous. Let's see what the British do. 3, it's an odd turn. If the British control Lake Champlain, retreat the American Northeast front marker 1 town. Otherwise, attack American ships on Lake Champlain. It is under American control. We're under attack. And a 3 is no effect in the ship battle results down here. So we survived that. Turn 6. We got 2 resource points. I'm going to have to push on Niagara. Oh, wait a minute. I lost the game. Right? Because after turn 4, let me double check. I mean, this was a brutal defeat. Instant British victory if British front markers occupy 2 American starting towns simultaneously after turn 4. And looky here. The Northwest Front and the Niagara Front. So we actually lost. How quick was this game? That is unbelievable. I mean, this is a tough tough little game. I actually did worse here than in the video that I linked below. But wow. I didn't even get to tell you about the Indians, because depending on British action, the Indians can come in, and you put it right here. That adds another +1, a -1 when attacking them in the northwest front. So it makes it even harder, right? Because if they're in that fortified location and the Indians are in play, that's -1 for the fortified location, right? -1 DRM. And with the Indians, it's -2. And I think it just affects the northwest location. Place a marker on the warrior when they are in play until the warrior markers remove American attacks on towns on the northwest front. Right, so any attacks on the northwest front here. So the game goes to turn 20, right? Hopefully. Unless peace, there's another way the game can end if any time after turn 16, at the instant the peace occurs event is played, which is one of the British actions here, right? After turn 16. Otherwise, you're going to play to turn 20 and do the victory points, right? If you have Montreal, it's 6 VP. If you have York, it's 3 VP. And then you get 1 victory point. Like let's say we were all the way up here. Besides the original town, we would get 1, 2, 3, 4 points, right? So let's say we had York. If we had control of York, if we had control of York, we would get, right, 3 VPs and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would count like that. You would see how many towns ahead you are. And then, of course, you add 1 VP for each lake controlled by the Americans. In this case, it would only be 1. But you deduct 2 VPs for each lake controlled by the British. So it's important to take over these lakes as soon as possible. And when the Indians are in play, it's important to remove them. And you can remove them with an action, right? Because here's the action chart. All right. What can we do? We can attack an adjacent British front marker in a town, fortified town, on a front, right? So that's what we were doing here. We can attack British ships markers on one British-controlled lake, right? This is for each action, each resource point. We can add 1 regular to a front. That means you take one of these regulars and put them under and then, you know, when you use it, like I said, it gives you an ability to re-roll a die, whether you're defending or attacking. Once you use it, you just put it back in your supply. And attacked a northwest warrior marker using the warrior chart. So yeah, actually, it's not just an action that removes the warrior once the warrior is placed. There's the warrior chart right there. Yeah, a 1, 2, or 3 is no effect. A 4, 5, and 6, you get to remove the warrior. So it's important. I mean, you know, for a small pocket game, it's a tough little game. It's a fun little game. I love this game. War of 1812, Solitaire, pocket travel game by Worthington Publishing. I may have to do another playthrough. I mean, this one was pretty bad. I lost very quickly. Let me just give you a quick view of some of the British actions there. I might have to try again. But go get one. It's a great game.